Good evening and welcome to another edition of the FTTC podcast, sponsored by Junk King Denver. Your junk, our crown jewel. Junk King Denver, regally ridding Denver of your fantasy trash. We are your home for breaking news and breaking balls of the fantasy sports world. From touchdowns to tailgates, we've got it all covered with a dash of witty banter. I'm your host, Jason Stankiewicz, and I'm joined here today by the 2020 champion, the Cookie Boy. Mike, how you doing today?
What's up? Not too bad. That was a flawless intro right there, Jess.
Thank you. Yeah, at this point, I've had about 10 episodes of practice, so gotten the opportunity to kind of fine tune it, and do my best to make it legitimate. So, thank you. We're looking forward to chatting some fantasy football with you today. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to do a little recap of last season first. So, you finished 5-9. You were projected to finish 7th after the draft, so I think, after the draft they had you, it was going to be a pretty average season, and I think you put in a pretty average performance. The one thing I did notice, you left last season with a $100 waiver budget, so didn't spend a single waiver dollar.
That's true. So I would like to see if that was a record.
It certainly is. You definitely can't beat it.
I was just so satisfied with my draft last year. I didn't think anyone on the waivers really suited my appetite.
I mean, do you feel that, maybe you pick up a few wins along the way if you had drained some of that budget?
Probably. But honestly, I feel like the waiver wire was pretty dead last year. I don't know. I'd like to see if you could run some numbers on just who was picked up from the waiver wire that was super beneficial to a team. That would be sweet. But no, I'm proud of my $100 in the bank. I think it's either you spend it all or you don't spend any of it. That's my theory.
I mean, I think it's honestly an achievement. And, when I look at the records from last year, I see you having, let me see here.
I haven't even downloaded the apps I need to download Yahoo again because I deleted it from last season. I haven't even downloaded it. So I want to see if I can look up my past stuff or my last year.
I got it all pulled up. So you made 21 moves last year and didn't spend a single dollar. And I think that's kind of impressive, honestly. And a real commitment to just make whatever moves you need to, but not paying any money for it.
Did I pick up people just for free?
Yeah. Everybody
that was
probably
just last minute waiver fills though. I don't think I ever honestly went on the waiver line. I think it was that was right before the game, picking up filling in spots and shit.
You need a defense or something.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I want to go a little bit past last season too. Obviously 2020, magical year for you. You made a real run. Outside of that, it's been a few struggles, missing the playoffs here and there, one last place. So, you're in the circle of shame with me here. Do you feel that you're one of the more underestimated members of the league, though? There's clearly some championship potential there.
No, I think I'm just regularly estimated in terms of the league standings. But the year I won, I think I attribute most of that to just actually using my waiver money and picking up Justin Jefferson. I think he was a rookie that year, but he was just went off unexpectedly. So I do attribute a lot of that championship to just luck of the waivers and just having an unfound talent that just happened to fall in my lap. But so I wouldn't say anyone should be scared to face me, but I don't know. So I'm not the most confident owner.
Hey, listen, you got a championship under your belt, and that says something. There's plenty of owners that I've had these episodes with that I've been saying, how are you going to get over the hump? And that's a hump that you've already gotten over. So
I do have a belt, so I'm good there. But yeah, I've been close to. I have come in last, and I've been second to last for a lot of years too, which has been pretty fun. Keeps it interesting,
Yeah, it sure does. I know that feeling. But so bringing it back to last season, obviously the championship was a little contentious. Roadrunners Naz took home the title over the Disasters in a two-point difference, really, the championship. Yeah. It came down to Joe Mixon not playing after the Bengals-Bills game got canceled due to the DeMar Hamlin injury. There were some rumors of some pretty heavy investment from the Naz group, some back channeling to the commissioner. I wanted to get your take, if you could confirm any of those rumors for us, or if you think it was pretty clean.
Yeah, I don't think it was clean at all. I think from just like a gut feeling to the actual numbers of if you look at Joe Mixon, what he's averaged, and like from last season, what he was expected to get from that game, obviously would have put Zay over the top. So you have to think there's something going on, behind the scenes. I don't know if it's financial related or perhaps buttering up some trades for the commissioner. But no, I'm definitely on board of something fishy going on with last year's results.
Yeah, there's a lot of fishy behavior around the commissioner, and we'll get to another rumor a little bit later on. But let's move into some of your off-season training.
Yes.
Now, the AutoDraft bot squad, like I said, you got one championship under your belt, but otherwise it's been quite a few disappointing seasons. Have you made any changes this offseason to try and build toward more success in the future and maybe more sustained performances?
No, honestly, it's sad. I haven't done any prep for the draft. I'm still at the office for anyone watching the video right now. I'm actually getting completely boned at work. So actually I have no time to dedicate to fantasy football, unlike other people in this league. But, no, I like haven't. I want to like follow up on like, some podcasts. I want to do some mock drafts, but I think I'm just gonna have to do that this weekend, maybe. I don't know. I did have for my other league, which is a lot lesser than this is my primary league right here, but my other less important league, I did have the draft last night, and um, I feel like that was some decent practice under pressure.
Okay.
But there's definitely uh, it was towards the later end of the draft. I feel like there was a lot of names I didn't recognize that I don't know. I have to brush up and the up and coming talent.
Well, hey, you got one draft under your belt, and a couple seasons ago, you also made a decision to move the franchise out to Colorado,
Yes.
leaving many fans in Chicago very disappointed.
Yep.
But obviously that came with some new facilities. Do you feel that the new facilities in the mountain help improve the quality of your off-season training, especially with like the high altitude training?
No, it's actually I think it has unfortunately gotten me a little bit further away from the game, and the members of my team that I manage have been a little bit more hands off, as opposed to when I was in Chicago before I left, and the season I won, I was actually living with the commissioner. But you don't have to ask any follow up questions about that. It was all legitimate, so don't question that. But I think being around and in the vicinity of more members of the league, definitely helps me get more into like the games on Sunday and managing the team and just putting in more off season work. But now I'm a little bit more remote, kind of going MIA a little. So I wouldn't call it like quiet quitting, but I'm just kind of coasting off my 2020 championship. So
All right. Well, you got those props and they'll carry it for a while. But you had a draft last night in another league. Let's get talking about our draft a little bit. I was looking back at your draft history,
yes,
and last 5 years, 5 RBs with your first pick. So clearly, there's some kind of strategy there. You're looking to target
that's good.
RBs.
That's funny. You're like crunching the numbers on that. I do usually target the running backs just because I feel like towards the middle of the season when it's like bye weeks and stuff, it's just harder to pick up like a solid running back off the waivers or something than to just kind of like fit in a wide receiver. So that's my typical strategy is to kind of get as many running backs, I guess, or like solid running backs as I can, rather than wide receivers. A little bit more weight in the running back room.
Yeah, I totally hear you. I think it's a strong strategy. This year, though, a little bit more wide receiver heavy. You think you're going to look to continue the trend? You think you might look another direction?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, well, let's see, what pick do I have? Dude, I don't
I
even,
got you sitting there with the 4 pick. And
like
so that
four, it
kind of brings me to my
sucks.
next
I don't
question,
like,
even. We can
I don't
link
know.
those
I
in a
don't know if
little
I
bit.
want like I don't think I want McCaffrey. I don't if he falls to me. I don't know.
You
I'll
got
definitely take
likely
what
you
are
likely
the
have
first
like
like the top five gonna be? Like Jamar.
so there's a solid top three. You got Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey, Jamar Chase,
Yeah.
and then after that it's pretty open for discussion. So
Uh,
is there a particular one of those you're kind of hoping falls to you?
I would say either one of the. Oddly enough, I'm gonna have to go break my trend, but I'd say I'd probably rather take Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson over McCaffrey. But I don't know. I don't know who else like the running backs are. What other running backs I would take? Like drafts.
I
Um,
think you got like Austin Eckler up there. You got Saquon. There's some big names up there.
I don't know. I don't trust Saquon. Eckler. I feel like taking Eckler at like 4 kind of seems a little high, but I don't know. I don't know. So this is why I gotta do some research. I'm kind of scrambling.
Well, hey, you might be a contender for this next question then. Who do you think is going to make the worst pick in the draft?
uh, worst pick. Um, I could see Billy making a pretty terrible pick. Just putting a little bit too much over analysis, and then like it'll just be like a bust of a player by like week 3 or something like that. Or like he'll probably draft one of the players like Jonathan Taylor that's like out for 4 weeks at the beginning of the season or something like that. Something Billy I could see doing.
Cool. All right, well, let's move on to some predictions for the upcoming season. I'll hit you with 2 real life NFL predictions, and then we'll get some league predictions.
Sweet.
Uh, who do you think is going to win the fantasy MVP? Who puts up the most points?
Uh, MVP like most points for like the whole regular season.
Yep.
Um, I don't fucking know. It's hard to I guess like, before we draft our teams. I don't know. I'll go with Nate the Great. I think he's gonna come out triumphant this season.
Oh, I'm looking. I mean that I got a title prediction, so maybe that's your title prediction. But I'm looking for which NFL player is going to put up
Oh,
the most
gee, I
points.
thought like, dude, I thought you were talking about like our league. Um,
No, I mean I do
but
want you to predict a title, a
wait.
champion.
So
So
what's
maybe
the
Nate's your
question for
pick.
the actual NFL season? Who is gonna what?
Yeah, which NFL player puts up the most fantasy points this year?
Oh. Jesus, I misunderstood that question so badly. Which NFL players? Uh, I'll just go with Justin Jefferson. I feel like he's just like so good.
It's probably a safe pick. I mean, he's up there,
Yeah,
number one pick for a reason,
as
right?
a pretty lame pick, but I feel like he'll definitely get the most points.
All right, now let's move to the big game. Who you got in the Super Bowl?
Uh, who do I have in the Super Bowl? We're talking about this. This is like the actual NFL.
Yep, actual NFL.
Uh, Jeez. I don't know. Think I put money on the Bears like a while back, so I'll have to go with the Bears.
Love that.
Obviously, and then I don't know. Let me think. I'm just looking up the odds of who's at the top.
I think you got to have like the Chiefs up there, probably. I imagine the Eagles are probably
Yeah,
up there.
I was gonna say that would be a pretty cool Super Bowl, Bears and Chiefs.
Hey, I'd love to see it.
Or or Bears, or I mean, or the Bills, or if Joe Burrow stays healthy, maybe the Bengals. It'd be fun to see the Bengals.
Cool. All right, let's do some league predictions. So I think you might have been hinting at it a little bit, and maybe Nate is your pick for this. But who you got to take home the title?
Yeah, I'll go with Nate the Great. Jumped the
Nate the
gun
Great.
before, but I'll stick with my pick of Nate the Great.
All right, now obviously both of us have been in the punishment circle, like I mentioned earlier. Uh, Hopefully neither of us are there again this year. But who you got to finish last?
I'll predict. I'll predict old Timmy
Vandy
P.
Spook.
I think he's.
You
I
know,
think he's gonna find himself in a hole this year, digging out. I can already feel that he's gonna be nagging me on the weekends and during the week for like trades, just like trying to get himself out of last place.
trying to save the season. He's been
Yes.
a hot pick lately. Quite a few people are angling for Tim to finish last, but we
Yeah.
also have on a weekly basis, obviously, the shotgun punishment. Who do you think does
Yeah.
the fastest shotgun, and who do you think does the most shotguns?
Fastest shotgun. Uh, I'm trying to think back to like the videos. I know it's on me. Wait, what was the second part? Who does the fastest and who does what?
And who does the most throughout the season?
Oh, uh, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who's good at like shotgunning. I think like Steve's pretty good at shotgunning. I think. I don't know. I'm tr-
He's probably the favorite right now. I think plenty of people
yeah. I was gonna
have
say.
leaned towards
I
Steve.
think I've seen Steve's morning shotgun videos and been like thoroughly impressed. So I'll go with Steve for that one. And who do I think will do the most this season, or has
Yeah,
already done the most?
yep. Who does the most in this
I guess
upcoming
I'll have
season?
to go with my last place pick.
It's tough when not only does your team not manage to finish any higher than last, but you're rocking shotguns every week. But anyway, there's some good rumors floating around the league right now. I want to get your take on before we sign off.
Yeah.
First one from the owners meeting. The commissioner announced that he's looking to step down in 2040. Obviously, a long time away, 17 years. That'll give him almost a 30-year reign. Any thoughts on his decision there?
Um, yeah, I think it's good. I think he's getting a little bit too soft right now, and I think he's starting to feel, especially with all the Steve punishment lagging on as has done. There's rumors just going around that the commissioner's just kind of lost his touch, and yeah, I think it's a good decision. So looking forward to 2040, but we'll see if we can get things done in the meantime.
All right. And the other rumor around the commissioner is, he's sitting there with the first overall pick, the 1-1.
Yeah, it's
Obviously,
bullshit.
he's the one that runs the draft order. You think it's legitimate, or you think there was a little finagling going on there?
Um, no, I think that was the one legitimate thing he's ever done. But no, I could see. I mean, I was talking to him the other day about how he was. I think he brought it up during the call, just like all the AI talk, and I feel like he's been getting more into kind of this like tech manipulation mindset that um, it did raise my eyebrow, which like with the picks of the draft. I mean, it could have easily been manipulated, video recorded. I guess I didn't really pay attention to it that much, but it is what it is.
All right. Well, I got one last one for you, and then we'll get you out of here. Obviously, the biggest and most contentious thing in the league right now is around Mr. Steve Blazer's delay in doing the punishment. Now, we
Yeah.
had some chatter on it earlier. Steve obviously had a chance to explain himself, and that'll be released a little bit later next week. But I'm curious for your take on it. What are your thoughts on the delay around Steve's punishment?
Uh, I do agree with like how we've been chatting about like generally punishments that are revolved around like a specific date and like event are hard. And like I think I do agree that like, or I think Steve is being honest with his conflicts and stuff. So that is just a hard punishment. And then it is also hard to like try to find something that is of equal kind of like level of punishment and kind of like replace that. So it's a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm in favor of like making it less harder. I mean, like trying out for the G League. I I was like I don't even like I would think that would be kind of hard. I don't know what it fully entails, but no, I'm hoping we can just like that would be cool. I think the G League though, like if none of us can watch it, I feel like that takes a lot out of it. Like I think
Yeah,
we could
I
find
agree.
like a one that maybe like less severe, like and then like we can also enjoy. Like someone can like we can all attend or at least like see a video of it or something.
Yep.
Um so I'm in favor of kind of like changing it. But we'll see. Uh we'll see what Steve agrees to.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be interesting to see. But anyway, Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. Best of luck to you in the draft, and best of luck in the upcoming season. And who knows, maybe it'll be another championship year for you.
Yeah, thanks, Jess. Thanks for having me on. Best of luck to you
Uh,
this season.
Thank you, absolutely. And to all our listeners out there, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the F Too Soon. Have a good night.